G'day everyone. Since I've had my cruiser, I've noticed that sort of above 60 to 70 k's an hour, to get up to like, let's say 100 k's an hour, to get there with a reasonable amount of time, it needs a fair bit of a throttle input. Now, it's not something I picked up when I first bought it because I only got it up to about 70 k's an hour on the test drives anyway, so yeah, didn't notice it, but yeah, when I got out on the freeway, it's like, it doesn't quite feel right. Now, this is an FZJ105, so the 1FZ FE petrol engine. Now, I've done a bit of reading on the forums, basically on Facebook forum groups and whatnot, and I did find a couple of posts relating that it could be the throttle position sensor maybe potentially going a little bit bad. So I figured it's a part that's under $100 from Yama. Takes a little while to get here, but that's okay. So let's just do a couple little checks and see if there's any difference before and after we change it. So I've got my OBD2 scanner plugged in. Let me just turn on my screen recording for you there. Alright, so I've got my all my live parameters here now. Throttle position sensor, that's the one I want. So just going to go into there. So this is obviously before I change it. Now with no position on the throttle, it's reading just shy of 11%. We go to full throttle, it only is going up to 78%. So it seems pretty linear as I back it down, but it'll always return back to the same spot. And if we go back up to 100%, well, 100% throttle is only reading 80% through the ECU. So yeah, let's change that sensor and see if that makes a difference to the throttle trace. And if it does, we'll go for a bit of a drive and see what it feels like. So the throttle position sensor is just right here at the front of the engine. So yeah, easy job to change out. It's only two Phillips head screws either side, or top and bottom, and the plug. So I'm just going to be careful on that, not to break anything, being old plastics. Now, that is a bit of a bugger because you've got the map sensor in the way, and that one's already got a broken plug. Not by me, I might add. Well, at least not that I can remember. And I think I need to go get a different size screwdriver. So I've just found that this manifold air pressure sensor, map sensor, is just probably in the way a little bit just for that top bolt, so that top screw. So I'm just going to pull that out just so it's out of the way. Gives it a little bit easier access. It's only needs a 10mm socket, so nice and easy. And try not to drop any little bolts, so that just moves out of the way. Now, I did grab a bunch of screwdrivers in the hope of finding the right one that fits. There we go. There we go. 2 screws and the whole thing comes out. Now the replacement one, this is a factory Toyota part, so it's 89452-20130. And all we got to do is just screw the new one on and put all the plugs back in place. Hopefully without dropping any screws down into the depths of the engine bay. We've all been there before, I'm sure. One screw. Now this could be a fun one to potentially lose. So just make sure those screws are nice and tight. We'll bolt that map sensor back in place. And don't forget to plug everything back in. Hey, doesn't look like you can mess these plugs up, they only go one way. So let's go back into our live setting. We'll go back into throttle trace, and a little bit different, although essentially the same for 0. go to 100%, still 80%. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's go for a drive and see if it actually feels any better. To be honest, that's just trying to keep it smoother, or I don't know whether it stays any smoother with the movement, but it's interesting. It doesn't really go much past 80%, but maybe that's just the way it is. So yeah, let's go for a drive and see what it feels like. All right, just want to interrupt here. So post-job shono, interrupting mid-job shono, if that makes any sense. Now, I know at the start I had that little bit of I was a little bit iffy about the ECU reading 10% and 80%. Now, generally for simple jobs like this, I'll just jump in and do them and change over. I won't even refer to the manuals at all. So afterwards, when I put that new throttle position sensor in, and it was pretty much exactly the same, I actually went back to the manuals. Now, side note here as well, I do have an affiliate deal with eManual Online, so manuals that they sell that are referred to my links, I can get a kickback. Now, I don't do that just for the sake of my own benefit or the benefit of eManual Online. I kind of do it for you guys, just to let you know that there's good stuff out there. But in this case, you don't need to worry about those guys at all. But in the case of the 100 series, you don't need to jump onto eManual Online, because you can find this stuff online for free, nice and easy. I'll put the link in the description below where I found all the repair manuals for the 100 series, so that should be real helpful for you guys. Anyway, when I refer to this throttle position sensor, it was a bit of a mission to find this sort of data within the factory repair manuals anyway, but they do state that fully open and fully closed, they're saying approximately 70% and approximately 10%. So there is voltages and resistances that you can check through the throttle position sensor. So yeah, if you want to know that sort of stuff, let me know. I may do a separate video on it or follow up later on. So anyway, back to the rest of the video. Okay, so just went out for a drive. Look, seat of the pants. Oh man, I'd be hard pressed to say that's made any difference at all. Maybe a smidge, if anything, but nothing that would explain the general lack of power that I feel it's got. See ya. Is that wrong? Have fun. So where to go from here? I guess the next step, I'm probably going to look at doing the valve clearances, because on these, as the valves wear and everything, it closes the gap between the cam and the bucket and the shim, so they may need re-shimming. I have no idea how last time it was done on this, so yeah, we'll might look at that. It probably might be a good way to go. If they're massively out, that could account for a little bit of a lack of power. So yeah, I don't know, so we'll see what happens in the future. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's a bit of a bugger that's not the miracle cure that I'd read it to be, but not really surprising, I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would have made that much difference, but it's something that's under $100, so got nothing to really lose by trying. It's not like it's $1,000 part to just sort of throw at it and nothing happens. So yeah, not a big loss. So anyway, I'm going to we'll continue on with this the next time. Yeah, if you made it this far, you're not subscribed, you want to see where this goes, then subscribe and you won't miss it, I guess. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks to the channel members as well, so Dave, Byron, Jay and Rob, much appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.